Hey everybody, this is a quick video on immigration. The issue of immigration is complex and convoluted and something that should not be politically weaponized. But what we have seen over the last several years is that immigration and the influx of immigration on our southern border has made it a huge political point, which makes it a contentious issue instead of a humanitarian one. When somebody leaves the place they were born and they move halfway around the world or a quarter way around the world for a better life, they're not coming there to steal the jobs that Americans have. They do the jobs that Americans won't, like maid service or farm workers. And that, sadly, is how immigration has worked in America, a place that was looted and plundered by initial colonists, native population eradicated, made into this place where only white men could hold property. But as our founding fathers would have it, they put into motion a constitution that could be amended. And with the amendments came individual liberties. And with the amendments came the idea of equality and the rights of life, liberty, and property, that it should extend beyond just the white man. It could be of any color and it could be man or woman. And we today may take this for granted, that there is such a thing as the rule of law. There is such a thing as a stable democracy, because we have lived in a stable democracy for 250 years, nearly. I'm talking about the United States. And the world sees the United States, which is a republic, which is for the people, of the people, by the people, as not only a place where they have the opportunity for a better life, but also a place where they and their individuality and their personhood is recognized more than it is where they are born. And I'm telling you this because I am an immigrant. I am a naturalized American citizen. The difference between me and the people at the southern border is that my mother made the way for me to come to the United States legally. And she entered what they would call through the proper channels. But the non-citizens at the southern border are not doing anything illegal by coming to the border for refuge, for a better life, for their safety and the safety of their children. They don't become illegal simply because there is such a thing as coming through the legal paperwork. When you turn that phrase and make it into an illegal alien, you dehumanize them. And that is what the far right has done. They are non-citizens seeking non-citizens seeking refuge, seeking opportunity for a better life, and they are coming with the good faith belief that America is that place. And this is something that is not new about America at all. America has always been that place where others came after it was, gentrified, if you would say it, after Native American tribes were killed off largely and their lands taken, after our republic was established, it became an immigrant nation. And the newest flock always had some sort of derogatory term associated with them. So, especially if you're not white, Anglo-Saxon, Protestant, then everybody else, there is a stigma. Even for Roman Catholics, for Irish, for Italian. But it's easier for those cultures to assimilate because of the color of the skin. It is not easy it conforms to the old notion, the originalist notion of the Republic of it being just a place where white men and white men only can have property. That paradigm shifted a long time ago. But the largely white men who hold power today hold on to that patriarchy and would go to great lengths to make this a partisan issue so nothing moves. But what they don't understand is that it is to their detriment because it stalls a society from which they make money. And it stalls on a fundamental level because immigrants take up the jobs that Americans would not do, often at wages Americans would not work at. So instead of calling them illegal aliens, dehumanizing them, and repeating the ugliness of what our history tells us we have committed, instead of doing that, if we do what the more evolved American soul calls for, which is finding a path to asylum, finding a way to make the political stunt of sending these people by bus to democratic cities into a way for these refugees and asylum seekers to be integrated legally as refugees and asylum seekers to the places where they're being sent. So it is not a disparate thing. It is not a dehumanizing thing that Republican governors at the borders are doing. It is a collaborative thing with blue states and red states up north that is not completely on the border to work with them to take some of the load of the immigration influx. Because these people are people. People. They are people looking for a better life. And there's plenty of land in the United States. There's plenty of room where, if properly and efficiently and diligently and expediently processed, can help in so many sectors. Because this population would fill up the jobs that, even with so many job openings, many people will not do because it won't pay them enough, because they have too much debt. Because Americans have this feeling that, we can't go and do farm work. We have to hire somebody else to do it. For some reason, our society has moved forward enough that the agrarian side of it is almost forgotten, but it's fundamental. It's how we get food on the table. It's also with cleaning services, another part that in hotels, in urban areas, even in rural areas, there are maid services that rich homes and upper middle class homes get that service. And that is an industry that would fill positions for people who are not educated. For those who are educated who are coming, there are jobs that they can do. There are enough jobs in America, and there is enough space in America for us to allow these people to systematically come in and expand the promise. So it benefits both Republicans and Democrats because as more people come in, they get to share their messages with these people and they will have the freedom to vote. So we need to move out of it as a partisan issue. Look at it as a humanitarian issue. Expedite the immigration process, collaborate with states across the union, get this bus train network going where you take some of the weight off from southern states that are on the border of Mexico and the United States and move some of the immigrants to the other locations, process them, and integrate them into our great nation. We need to evolve into doing this and doing this expeditiously. Because if we can't get our act together and make immigration a non-issue, it's going to turn into a crisis. And it's going to be a political turmoil, and it will drag the whole country, the morale, the economy down with it. And Americans don't deserve that. And our government is better than that. And we should do better than that. Thank you. So if you have watched and if you like what you have watched, please like, subscribe, and comment and share my work. It is critical to how my channel works. So thank you very much. And I will see you all soon.